You're listening to Unqualified Opinions, and I'm your host, Michelle. No one prepares for betrayal by family because love convinces us that we won't have to. So confronts the uncomfortable truth that when illness, fear, and money collide, even the closest of families can fracture. What begins as care can quickly turn into accusation. Advocacy becomes leverage, and the ethical doctor, caregiver, and siblings can find themselves dragged under a cloud of doubt, not because they did anything wrong, but because they decided doubt was profitable. It's about how the system rewards accusation, how naivety becomes a liability, and why good intentions offer no protection once legal and financial incentives enter the room. You can emotionally prepare for this kind of betrayal, but each episode breaks down what truly is at stake. Reputations, licenses, safety, and the truth, and why getting informed and protected before a crisis isn't paranoia, it's survival. Because love doesn't stand up in court, and naivety exposes you. Why the wealthy always has a lawyer on speed dial. Watch any movie about money, old money, new money, inheritance, dynasties, empires, and there's one character who's always shows up early. Not the accountant, not the banker, not the investment guy, family attorney. And that's not Hollywood exaggeration, that's instruction. The wealthy don't wait for problems to get legal. It's the part that most people don't understand until it's too late. Money doesn't create risk, money reveals it. The moment wealth appears, or is expected to appear, people, they change. Family dynamics shift. Motives get reinterpreted. History gets rewritten. And suddenly, that used to be trust becomes leverage. In movies, the lawyer is already in the room when someone dies, and inheritance is announced. A business changes hands. A trust is triggered. A spouse starts asking questions. It's not because the wealthy are paranoid. It's because they understand one brutal truth. You don't protect wealth after the windfall. You protect it before anyone knows it's coming. Because once the money hits, you're already late. Inheritance turns families into adversaries overnight. Greed doesn't knock, it shows up smiling. And people who never cared about paperwork suddenly care a lot about fairness. This is why wealthy families structure trust early, document intent early, and clearly assign representation long before the conflict, separate emotion from enforcement. They don't rely on goodwill, they rely on guardrails. And here's the part that no one likes to say out loud. If you expect to inherit wealth and you don't have legal protection already, you're not prepared to keep it. Not from outsiders, not from inside the family, because money doesn't just attract lawsuits, it attracts reinterpretation. Someone will question capacity. Someone will question intent. Someone will question influence. Someone will question fairness. And if you think love will stop that, that's how fortunes evaporate. The wealthy don't hire attorneys because they're cold. They do it because they've seen what happens when emotion meets entitlement. A lawyer on speed dial isn't a luxury, it's a firewall. It means decisions are documented, not debated. Boundaries are enforced, not negotiated. Intentions are protected, not guessed. And most importantly, it keeps people honest when temptation shows up. So here's the takeaway. Hollywood, they get this part right. If you want to keep wealth, if you plan to inherit wealth, if you expect a windfall of any kind, you don't wait until things get messy. You arm yourself before the money arrives, before expectations form, before resentment builds, before someone decides they deserve more. Because once the windfall hits, you're no longer planning, you're defending. And defense is always more expensive than preparation.